The Forbes Africa Person of the Year award, now in the 6th year, continues to recognize individuals who, for better or worse, have had the most influence on the events of the year gone by. Now, this year, Thuli Madonsela, former South Africa Public Protector, won the award, and she is the first woman to clinch this title. Take a look. The 2016 Forbes Africa Person of the Year Awards, held in Nairobi's prestigious Radisson Blu Hotel, attracted Africa's top-notch business leaders and dignitaries. The event, elegantly put together by ABN Productions, was a true testament to the 6 years that Forbes Africa has effortlessly honored influential people in the continent.
Forbes Person of the Year Awards were started in 2011, and what we wanted to do different from what we were doing with the All Africa Business Leaders Awards, which is focused more on business leadership, was identify Africans who are making a difference to the larger population. It was about impact leadership that we were looking at. So we went out trying to identify those leaders in Africa that were actually making a difference, not just to their corporates or their businesses, but to the larger population and community.
The pre-event cocktail served as a good opportunity for guests to network, and the anxiety to celebrate the most influential person in 2016 was evident.
It's a good event that we get to highlight success stories. We also get to highlight best practices in the industry. It's also an opportunity for us business leaders to learn from each other, from the journeys traveled by other business leaders who are successful.
The event was being held in Nairobi for the second time.
I'm very happy it's in Nairobi, because when it happens here, that many more people resident in Nairobi are attending it. That many more people in the region are closely associated with it. They hear about it. They see it on television. So they relate to it, and the inspiration flows that much better in the region.
This year's nominees included 2 presidents, John Magufuli of Tanzania and Amina Gurib of Mauritius. But South Africa's former public protector, Thuli Madonsela, was battling for the feted award for the second time.
I think the Forbes Africa Person of the Year process is important for shaping leaders in Africa, but firstly it's just about celebrating whatever good that's happening in this continent. I think it also provides role models for young people.
Ladies and gentlemen, and the winner of the Forbes Africa Person of the Year 2016 award is Thuli Madonsela, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, let's keep clapping till she gets here. Come on, let's do this. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Forbes, for an event such as this. We are a continent on the threshold of greatness. Africa is no longer a sleeping giant. Even narratives of a dark continent are outmoded. As Africans, we are moving forward in leaps and bounds, as has been seen in some of the images we saw tonight. We are leaders as a continent in areas such as technology, science, business, and I dare say we also are leading with regard to innovative approaches to public sector governance.
Madonsela's efforts to create a better society in South Africa and Africa at large has furthered calls for leaders across the continent to drive sustainable development.
It is worth mentioning that our sustained progress depends on us continuously improving good governance, particularly in the public sector, including state-owned enterprises. When governance fails, things fall apart. This was the central message in Chinua Achebe's novel, Things Fall Apart. It is important that those charged with the governance of countries, state-owned enterprises, and industry exercise ethical leadership. In other words, for Africa to continue to rise and achieve its full greatness, ethical leadership must rise.
I think leadership is a value that is not just for business. I think leadership is across the board. Political leadership is extremely important. I think the African countries are going through different stages of evolution and transparency in many ways. I find that democracy is coming around, media is playing a huge part in actually creating this transparency. But there are a lot of shortcomings on the continent. I believe that we're on the right track. The leadership is becoming more and more accountable. We see a lot of change that is being driven, and I think we are playing our part in that process.